There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I am Joël Anatgoor, entrepreneur and founder of Awake Origins. My journey of unlocking potential and transcending limitations has deep roots, and surprisingly, part of it began in a place you wouldn't expect, a movie theater. When I was in university, I worked at a movie theater for several years. My main tasks were tearing tickets and cleaning the halls. In those years, I watched countless films come and go, and saw tens of thousands of people pass through. It was a huge theater, and after a while, I could often predict which visitor was there for which movie. One of the highlights of the job was watching people leave the theater after a great film. I could see how they'd been touched, moved, or simply had a great time. At that time, the Matrix trilogy, starring Keanu Reeves, was a huge hit. At first glance, it's a brilliant sci-fi action film, filled with stunning moves and special effects. But many visitors were also drawn in by something else, either consciously or unconsciously. The film has immense depth. It's an allegory, and it speaks directly to our reality. In the Matrix, we, both collectively and individually, are trapped. We're locked in a matrix of thoughts, patterns, and illusions, unaware that we're living in a dream world created by the systems we've grown up in. We have forgotten who we really are. Almost every scene is filled with spiritual references, large and small, that tie back to the human experience. The main character, Neo, also known as Thomas Anderson in The Matrix, represents each of us. Anderson literally means son of man. He is the everyman, the one. In the film, he's a messianic figure, but here's the twist. You, the viewer, are the real protagonist. You are the one. You can wake up by letting go of the limitations you've placed on yourself. When you do, anything becomes possible. As a human being, entrepreneur, or leader. It's a brilliant commentary on conditioning and unconditioning. There's so much more to the film that goes beyond this episode, but trust me, it's worth watching again, through new eyes. Now let's make this more relatable and practical to you as a conscious entrepreneur or leader. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Some people go their entire lives taking the blue pill. They believe they are their ego, identifying with the voice in their head, letting it dictate their actions without question. As they move through life, they feel more and more disconnected, constantly searching for something to fill the void inside. Many entrepreneurs fall into the trap of chasing the next goal, believing the answer lies in achievement status or the next big milestone. They look to activities, relationships, prestige, and status to feel complete. But in the end, the answer is never out there. They try to fill the emptiness through busyness, ambition, or chasing the next high, only to realize that it's unsustainable. But some of us take the red pill. We wake up to our own conditioned matrix, and the world as we knew it begins to shift. This awakening can happen in many ways. For example, you're no longer happy with everything you've built around you. You feel lost, searching for meaning beyond business success, but not sure where to find it. You don't know what the next phase of your life or business should look like. You go through a crisis, a burnout, or hit a plateau. When you wake up, life can feel uncomfortable. The beliefs and patterns that once defined you no longer align with the present. Often, our first response is to avoid it, distracting ourselves with work, alcohol, or anything to fill the space. I lived that life too, running from the void by staying busy, chasing goals, closing deals, and building. It's a story I know well, but it's also a story that eventually breaks down. Understanding that you're in the matrix is one thing, stepping out of it is another. About 10 years ago, I met my own Morpheus. A mentor and enlightened psychologist who has played a pivotal role in my awakening, and still does to this day. His name is Laurens Weemeyer. This enlightened psychologist didn't just show me how to step out of the matrix, he showed me how to master it. The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us, even now, in this very room. Like Neo, I learned that stepping out is just the beginning. Mastering the matrix is the real journey. Now I want to share something deeply profound. And yes, I'll make it practical for you too. Here's a piece of writing from Laurens about the nature of reality. If it's not clear right away, don't worry. Stay with me, and by the end, I'll show you how to make this actionable. Especially if you're running a business, leading a team, or steering your life's vision. All nature is a harmonious expression of the most basic substance we all have: consciousness. This consciousness always manifests together with energy and light. Where there is one, there is also the other. It's a trinity. What your mind makes of it is something else. Your expression of consciousness is the great playing field of life, in which you make your choices and determine your direction. The virtues of this expression of harmony in the reality of nature are the goodness, beauty, and truth that you can perceive in the embodiment of this reality. Every perfect and beautiful object of our nature is designed and created with the precise and concise principles of mathematics. To comprehend the hidden mathematical secrets of nature, we need to be in tune with the mathematical laws of the universal expressions of divine consciousness. Now, if we try to discover some gems of wisdom in the structure of nature, we want to see what these expressions look like. Geometry refers to the mathematical codes that make up the universal blueprint of the cosmos. Your duality is the result of an act of self-contemplation by the oneness of things, as it wants to manifest and see itself. It is this act of self-reflection that leads to all life and creation. However, it cannot be done geometrically in 2D, because if you want to achieve manifestation, a third point is needed. So the actual formula to create reality in a special form became a copy of the original divine act of self-contemplation. This copy is who you are. You are the embodiment of this sacredness of life. If we try to translate this into universal geometric language, the first formation of reality becomes a 3D triangle, the first geometrical expression of all creation and manifestation. It's the first level of manifesting and expressing yourself as a soul. This is how you can feel, think, and see things. The expression of the 3D triangle is immediately followed by the 3D quadrant. The intersection of these geometric formations of the 3D triangle and the 3D quadrant forms the universal basis of a 3D life circle. The basic shapes that you can recognize as a 3D triangle, square and circle refer to the source frequency of life. Looking at where this takes us, we can say that this is what the geometric structure of the mind looks like. You could think of this basic geometric structure as a universal framework of the blueprint of your mind's activities. In this geometric structure, your mind spirals and shows the creative results of its magnetic dynamism. And all your different preferences and behavioristic realities that are involved. If you want to understand reality, you need to first understand yourself. There's way more to say about this, and if you're interested, I invite you to explore Lauwen's book Sound of Life, where he delves deeper into these concepts. But for now, let's focus on something crucial. We are all an expression of this oneness, and as human beings, this manifests as our unique energetic blueprint, housed in the 7 energy centers of your system. Your blueprint contains the sacred geometry of the 3D triangle, square, and circle. Transcending and mastering the matrix starts with understanding your blueprint. Understanding your blueprint is the ignition that deepens your connection to your essence, beyond the matrix, allowing you to live your purpose and execute in alignment with your full potential. All of this is uniquely coded within you. Now here's the mind-blowing part. Your unique blueprint is measurable, thanks to the blueprint scan developed by Lauwen. We're using this tool within Awake Origins to help conscious entrepreneurs, leaders and creators to further transcend the matrix. If you're new to the blueprint scan, I invite you to take the first step in mastering the matrix by decoding yourself. Fill in the blueprint scan and join the free, interactive Decode Yourself session hosted by me. For those already part of Awake Origins, you're welcome to join too. No need, however, to redo the scan. You can find the registration link below. The choice is yours, Neo. Right now is the time to rise to our next level. I'll see you soon.